welcome back to my channel, you guys. So today I am doing something a little different. I have been browsing YouTube and I am so long overdue for the crystal tag video. So many people have done it and I really wanted to make one, and I figured why not. Also, please do not mind my appearance at the moment. I wasn't really feeling it today, so I just kind of threw on a cap, shirt, and here we are. So anyway, I want to make sure that you guys have an understanding of who I am and where my crystal collection began and why I decided to collect crystals, and so on and so forth. So the crystal tag involved like 5 questions or so. Everybody was kind of doing it to their own, pace, or however they wanted to do it, whatever you want to call it. But I may just throw in, a few questions of my own to answer for you guys. So if you'd like to get to know a little more about me and my crystal habits, then stick around. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated, and I'm so happy and thankful for you guys hanging out with me. So stay tuned. So one of the first questions were, how did I first start getting into crystals and or minerals? So I started getting into crystals when I was about 10 years old. Actually, my dad had passed away around that time, and I can just remember going through a box that he had, and in this box was like a, not small, but like a medium sized amethyst, and I definitely had no idea what it was called, what it was. I just knew that it was one of the most beautiful rocks. This is what I considered it at that time, like one of the most beautiful rocks I've ever seen. And so that kind of began my journey with crystals. Now that was like way back when I was like almost coming out of elementary, whatever the case that was. And so I initially would carry my amethyst around and just keep it in my pocket or my book bag, like wherever I was going, that's where I had that stone with me. And then I think maybe about like middle school, I probably stopped carrying it around. I just would leave it on my dresser. And I didn't pay much mind to it, but maybe I'd say like the ending, like maybe my first, I'm sorry, it's like, jeez. I'm trying to really recollect when I like really decided to pick back up with my amethyst. And it had to be like the middle end of like my first year of college, like we'll just put it that way. And I just remember being a little overwhelmed because things were so new. I wasn't sure if my grades would be right. Like, of course I was putting in the time, the effort and stuff, but I mean, I just have anxiety anyway. So I remember picking my amethyst back up, and then my sister as well as my mom, we were all in the Apple store, and this young lady had on a necklace with maybe an opal stone in it or a clear quartz. I'm not really sure. It's my sister's story to tell. But she asked, it may have been my sister who had the necklace on. So I think the young lady at the Apple store who worked there asked my sister where did she get the stone from, and so on and so forth from that conversation. And from that point on, the young lady went to refer us to a store that she recommended, a store that we go to that's like downtown Riverside, something of that nature here in our area. So that's where that really all began in a nutshell. I know that was a whole lot, but that's kind of where it started. We went to that metaphysical shop, and me, my mom, and my sister, we just absolutely loved it. We shopped for all kinds of crystals that we had no idea about, just to kind of keep with us and carry around. And then from there, it just kind of skyrocketed. So that was like way back in like 2009, and we're in 2017 now. So I'm good and, good and well in touch with myself with, college and crystals, and my collection has just expanded tremendously from there. So that is the start and how I kind of began my journey, I guess you would say. Okay, so the next question is, how many crystals do you have in your collection currently? So if I have done my calculations properly, and if I've used my app the way I know how to, the app is called Airtable. I am not sponsored for that, but it is a really good app. It calculated that I have up to about 262 crystals, and I just keep buying them. I'm not sure why. Well, I know why, but anybody in the crystal kingdom who knows, that when you buy your first crystal, there is no stopping. Like, it's just none at all. Straight continuing, you know what I mean? So I'm up to 262 crystals right now. Question number 3. If I could own only one crystal for the rest of my life, what crystal would it be and why? So that's a very hard question. And I was telling my sister that I have no idea. Like, I have so many crystals that is just unbelievable, number one. But two, how could you ever choose? Or how could I ever choose? Like, I am just totally in love with every single crystal that I've ever bought. I connect heavily with each crystal that I have. They're just like too delicious to not enjoy, And so, what crystal would I own for the rest of my life? Only one crystal, and why? It would probably just have to be amethyst. Like, it's like the most commonly used crystal in the entire crystal kingdom. I won't say everyone loves it, because some people can't tolerate it. It's a very strong stone. Its energy is extremely unique. Some people can sleep, with the amethyst crystal under their pillow, under their bed, in their hand, and some can't. Like, I know when I first started, sleeping with an amethyst next to my bed, or I would hold it in my hand, I would get the most jacked up dreams I could possibly think of. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not sleeping with this thing ever again. Like, it just ain't gonna happen. But it's the only crystal that I'm just so extremely attracted to. Like, I'm madly attracted to all of the crystals, of course, but it's the one that I just keep coming back to, and mind you not, it was my very first crystal anyway, and it already held so much meaning, even though I didn't know what it was at that time, So the amethyst, I connect with the most, and it just resonates so well with me. It helps me with, my anxiety. I'm not saying that, holding this stone just completely shields me from having anxiety. It just takes it away. Like, no, there's a lot of things that accompanies with trying to make sure that your well in general, you know what I mean? So it just helped to be able to hold something, that has so much meaning to it, so much energy, so much power. It just helps me mentally, to calm myself, to understand that, you gotta be still, like sit still for a moment, breathe. It's gonna be okay. So I would say the amethyst. Okay, so question number 4 is, what is your favorite crystal at the moment and why? So my favorite crystal is it would have to be my my smoky celestial quartz, or celestial smoky quartz, whichever comes first. Either or, that's been probably my favorite crystal since I've purchased it. I can't get enough of it. It does not mean that I've not paid much attention to my others, but I mean, I thoroughly enjoy this crystal, as I do with all my others. But this crystal in specific, like the story behind it, when I went to buy it initially, I was like real finicky about it. I didn't want it. I was just like, oh, what is this? No thank you. You know what I mean? So I ended up with it only because my sister encouraged me to get it. Like, she was like, just determined to make me buy this crystal. Mind you not, she wasn't even spending the money for it. You know what I mean? And this was just not an inexpensive crystal. So I bought the crystal, and maybe the first night of just kind of trying to get a feel of it, just really trying to connect myself to it, I found my first anhydro bubble. Now, I've always heard of these things. I've never seen one in person. I know they can be over hundreds of millions of years old, and I was just so excited. Not only that bubble that I found, it was a moving one, you know what I mean? So from there, I go to look up, what things mean and why does it move and what does it mean if it doesn't move. And I just did tons of research on that, and it just overwhelmingly excited me. Like, I was just so happy that I purchased that crystal. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even believe that the shop I bought it from even understood what they showed, what they sold me. Like, it wasn't inexpensive, but it wasn't as expensive as it could have been, you know what I mean? So I bought that stone, and I found my first anhydro bubble. I also found like different shapes within the crystal. It was just a bunch of hidden things, a bunch of hidden features about this stone that I just absolutely love. And then recently from there, I found 3 other anhydro bubbles. So right now, my crystal has 4 anhydro bubbles, and all of its hidden figures and shapes and everything else, and that's within the crystal. Like, I just absolutely love it. I cannot get enough of that crystal. It is my absolute favorite, one of my favorites, and it's pocket size. Like, I can hold it in my hand, put it in my bra, carry it around in my pants pocket, like my purse. It may protrude a little bit out of my wallet, but I mean, other than that, I love that smoky celestial. And I'm gonna be honest, I've not seen any other crystal, with with so many anhydro bubbles, you know what I mean? Like, at all, let alone just having found any, crystals with actual visible bubbles in it, So I love that crystal. I'm so happy that I purchased it, regardless of being forced. You know who I'm talking to. And I'm happy I got it. I love it. It's my favorite right now, and I don't know if I'll come across another favorite. I mean, all of my crystals are just really, close to me anyway, but right now, nothing tops that one. So that's my favorite right now. All right, so question number 5. What is my stone of the day and or week? I would have to say I'll choose my stone of the week. My stone of the week would have to be my double terminated clear quartz point. Like, this crystal is just absolutely deliciously unacceptably gorgeous. Like, it makes no sense, you know what I mean? So I love this crystal, and because it's double terminated, when I'm at work, I can just easily hold it like this and I'll just spin it. Like, it'll just spin in my hand, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. I think it's really cool, and it just kind of takes my mind off of my present at the time. So I really like that. I use that a lot while I'm at work, just kind of sitting in front of the computer, just instead of twiddling my thumbs or clicking on a pen, which I'm very prone to do. I'll just hold my little crystal and spin it. Just I love it. I don't know. Call me weird, fidgety, I don't know. So, I could pull out my fidget spinner, but why when I could look at a crystal and spin that? Like, how awesome is that, So my double terminated crystal, my double terminated clear quartz crystal point is my favorite crystal of the week. So the next 2 questions that I am going to answer, I'll call them my crystal bonuses. They're questions that, I had to kind of just think about myself and have an answer for, because it was just a few things that I wanted to know, like, about why I felt a certain way about certain things, or when it came down to crystals. That may or may not connect to the question that I'm going to answer, but take it how you want. So the 6th question, my first bonus question, is, what stones do I resonate the most with? And I would have to say, well, I guess it could be a 2-part question. What stones do I resonate the most with and the least with? Now, I'm not really sure the answer, to the least side of things, but for the most part, for crystals that I resonate with the most would be clear quartz, amethyst, of course, rose quartz, smoky quartz, and citrine. Those are my top. Now, I might be lying. I think I have another one. Labradorite. Bleh. I always say that so wrong. Labradorite. So, I resonate the most with those. I love those crystals. I will keep all of those in my little remedy bag that I carry with me. Like, I think everybody should have those crystals. But again, to each his own, some stones that work for one person may not work for another. So that's totally up to you. But those are the stones that I resonate the most with. Like, it's what raises my energy to the highest peak, or, in addition to whatever it is that I can do to make myself feel better about myself, my day, my experiences, the type of moment that I'm in, and, so on and so forth. Now, which stone or crystal do I resonate the least with? The first stone that actually comes up to mind is probably malachite. I bought one and I'm like, I wasn't even sure why I had got it. Like, maybe it looked appealing to me at the beginning, and then, you know, I don't know. I'm just like, okay. I'm going to go ahead and just sit that to the side a little bit and, you know, let it chillax over there. You know what I mean? But, I mean, of course, I still have it in my collection. It's still, you know, with all of my other crystals, not secluded or by itself, none of that foolishness. But yeah, it'd probably be like malachite. That's the first stone that kind of comes to mind. Also, another stone that I really resonate with is carnelian. I don't even know how I could have forgot that, but I definitely resonate with carnelian. I love carnelian. So that's just another one of my stones that, you know, again, I just adore. Okay, so question number 7, meaning my second bonus question or crystal bonus, is which stones or crystals, whichever you choose to refer to them as, represents your past, present, and or future, or your past, present, and future. That is really, really hard, but it is also a really great question. You know what I mean? Like, we all go through so many things, and when, you know, if you're a crystal lover like I am, and anybody in the crystal kingdom that doesn't just get crystals for the decoration, you know what I mean, just lovely decor around their home, they know that when you go to choose a crystal, it's for a specific reason, a specific feeling, a calling, a connection, what have you. So I've purchased crystals in many different levels and time frames of my life, and I can honestly say, for my past, the stone that I always was just more attracted to was amethyst. That's because even like now, it's not as bad as it used to, thank God. It's lightened up so much more. But in my past, I just had so much going on. I was always thinking about too much, just doing too much. So my go-to crystal was the amethyst. I would purchase tons and tons of amethyst, big, small, whatever. So in my past, just kind of dealing with a whole lot of anxiety, panic attacks, just that type of thing. Amethyst was my go-to stone. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, I still use it to this day here and there, but it was a really big part of my life, you know, back then, way with yesterday type time. So amethyst is the stone that would represent my past. The stone that would represent my present, or the crystal that would represent my present, would probably be smoky quartz. That may be really odd, and a lot of people don't even talk about smoky quartz. I wish I saw more crystal videos on smoky quartz. But smoky quartz or smoky celestials, whatever, that is my current crystal, my current go-to crystal, the crystal that would represent my present times. Because I feel like it's helped me keep a more calming demeanor about myself. It's allowed me to just kind of stay focused. Like, when I'm holding that crystal, I say my little prayer to the good Lord, and I'm, thinking at the same time, hey, look, as long as you have this in your hand and you know in which direction you're headed, you know that, what you're trying to do is just for the betterment of your life, yourself, and people around you, then, that's what you need. That's all you need. So the smoky quartz has definitely helped me, and I am generally never I don't want to say attracted to smoky quartz, but I wasn't so fond of smoky quartz at the very beginning. And it took my sister getting me into smoky quartz to just kind of realize that that was something that was necessary to me, for me. So the smoky quartz would represent my present. The crystal that would represent my future. Very, 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 very important. Gosh, it would probably be I have two crystals I'm showing like 3, 4, 5. I have two crystals in mind that I want to say, but if I had to choose between the two, it would be clear quartz. Like, I have recently just gotten so attached to clear quartz that it is just unapologetically unexplainable. I feel like that would just represent the focus, the drive, the pure outcome of just trying my hardest to reach my goal without letting anyone or anything stop me. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the epitome of my hard work. I feel like it just represents that. It just, there is a pureness about it, and I really feel like that is the best crystal to represent that time in my life, or that will represent that time in my life. I carry all of these stones with me, and they're fairly small for the most part, but the way these crystals make me feel, just keeping them near to me, it just helps me. It moves me. There is energy within it. We all carry energy. And some people disregard it, and, others actually understand exactly what we're dealing with. So I would just recommend, if you have not gotten into crystals, what's the harm in going for it? I say try it. If you don't like it, they're still really nice. Set it around your house as, little eye appetizers, and go from there. But I love crystals. It's my life. It's my thing. It's what makes me who I am. I just enjoy the sense of energy that crystals around me bring. I love it. And, anybody that knows me knows that I will correlate crystals to the Bible, because they are in the Bible. I am a, child of God, and I apologize if I offend anyone, but this is my belief. This is who I am. This is me. And if I can reach anyone, just simply connecting with them you know, different levels that no one thought we could connect on, then I'm all for it. I'm game. So that's just a rough well, I guess not rough, but that is just that's my story. This is me. This is who I am. Just some simple questions and answers on the type of things that I'm into, why I'm into them, and you know, why it makes me who I am, what I enjoy about them. Crystals are everything to me. Crystals, they are the representation of God to me. They are the face of God. They're the face of Christ to me. I enjoy them. I just naturally, you know, resonate with all of them, navigate to them, and I'm good with that, you know. But that's just a little Q&A for you guys, and I just really appreciate you joining me, sticking around, just listening to me rant and brag and chat. I would have initially brought some crystals to show to you, but you know, I figure I have 7 other videos that you can watch with all my crystals in it, and that's still not all of them, but for the most part, I just kind of wanted to have a one-on-one, you know, piece with you, a one-on-one, you know, talk, just flat out, let's see, you know, who I am. Maybe I helped you, you know, figure something out about yourself, and if I did, that is awesome. If I didn't, then come back some, you know, videos later, refer back to my previous videos, and you know, just learn with me, have fun with me, and I just appreciate you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this long chat, and don't forget to please thumbs up this video. That would be greatly appreciated. Like, share, and subscribe. See me again in my other videos. Come back to my next video. All of that wonderful stuff.